Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bregaton. Let's talk to the messenger. The young soldier wipes the blood spatter from his face with a shaking hand. By Iomade, I'm alive. Woo. Felt like I had half the abyss and Aurelia herself in my tail back there. The soldier sucks in a breath and releases it, clenching his fist to conquer the tremors. Commander Tirabade sent me to get you, and thank all the good gods I found you before it's too late. The commander wants you to come back and help protect the defender's heart right away. But what happened? Demons. The demons are closing in on the tavern. They'll soon have us surrounded. I almost didn't make it past them to come get you. They could strike at any moment. They're closing in on the tavern, but noticeably enough that you had time to run for help. I see our enemies used up whatever reserves of stealth they had in their first assault on Canabras. I have important business in the city. Will you be able to manage without me? I don't know. Honestly, don't know if we'll manage even with your help. We need every fighter we've got right now, and especially one as skilled as you. Aw, thank you. The price of gold may rise and fall, but flattery is always hard currency. He's being honest. It's not flattery. On the contrary, a compliment well-deserved is the finest flattery of all. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Yes, let's go. We'll show those beasts. Crusader tries to summon up his courage, but his face is paler than his sheet and his hands are shaking again.
I'm gone. Adventures can wait.
Probably not the best time for this, but why not? The defender's heart greets you with unexpected liveliness. Beyond the walls of the tavern, the once bustling and festive city lies in ruins. But somehow none of that can be felt within these walls. The people in the room are talking, laughing, raising toasts, even softly singing. It doesn't look like typical tavern revelry, but nor is it the grim vigilance of recent days. Tila waves to you. She's sitting at a table with the trio you met previously, the knight, the half-elf, and the red-headed halfling. Donald, come. Let me properly introduce you to Elin, Janna, and Curl, the fearless warriors of the League of the Inspiring Cart. Tila pushes a mug of beer toward you and speaks softly. It was me who convinced Airbeth to use what Janna, Curl, and Elin found for our little party. If you look out the window, you might think the end times have come and the abyss has devoured us all. I thought some simple pleasures, good food and good company, could help keep the gloom at bay. Tila looks at you hesitantly, as if trying to gauge your reaction. I understand. We need to continue living and fighting, however hard that might be, even amidst the chaos that has befallen the city. I'm going to declare my support for Sila's decision as well. Experience tells me that we should shed no tears until after our victory. If we start to mourn the fallen while the battle is still raging, we'll be jeopardizing all our efforts. Now is the time for rest. We'll bury the dead after the last demon has been driven from Canabras. Hey, we're just going to sit here with grim faces? I said we get to know each other a little better, so we have better reasons to toast. Tell me about you and your order, Elin. As stories go, it's not very entertaining. I was born far to the south in Daeran. Also, my parents early led the life of a simple mercenary. I often questioned the path I had chosen. I'm proud of my sword skills, I enjoy training and drills, and I'm not afraid of battle. But risking my life for coin, it takes a special mindset to choose that lot with no regrets. You have to want to risk your blood. I saw too many of my friends die, and wondered if it was worth it. So in the end, I decided to choose another path. Now, if I'm going to lay down my life, at least it'll be for a good cause. That's how I ended up in Mendev and became a squire for the Houndhearts. It's a small order. By tradition, it never has more than 12 members. and a new member is only knighted after one of the elders dies. We patrol the lands along the Wardstone line, provide aid to travelers and settlers. Unfortunately, death is common among the Houndhearts. I became a full knight 2 years ago, after laying my mentor to rest. But I'm content with my choice. My place is among the Crusaders. Have you been serving in the Eagle Watch for long, Janna? I signed up 4 days before the demon attack. Am I lucky or what? Janna lets out an overly boisterous laugh. I'm an apprentice of a famous fencing master from Avon, and I learned a thing or two from him, believe me. I soon got bored of fighting off bandits and getting involved in the petty squabbles of the bickering river kingdoms. I wanted a proper challenge. You can't find a better place than Mendev. And what do you know? The moment I arrived, the demonic invasion began. My father would say that's no accident. Fate brought me here. What about you, Curl? How did you end up among the condemned? I just did what everyone else was doing. I grew up in the slums where everyone stole a little, or maybe smuggled or guarded stashes, so... Curl stares into his mug gloomily. But I never killed anybody. I never did anything really bad. I got caught stealing, when they made me choose between prison and the condemned. Well, of course I didn't want to go to prison. I'm not that good of a fighter, but... As Nargabur is my witness, a thief can also be useful in a war against demons. I've always been a good scout. I can sneak under the nose of any monster. But I don't know where my friends are now. We got separated when the demons rampaged through the city. Chin up, friend. Whoever you were in the past, you're our friend now, and a crusader. Your skills will be useful to us, you'll see. How do all of you know Sela? I met my noble sister on the road to Canabras. I was returning from the south from my fiancé, and I was happy to be in the company of a paladin of Iomade. We said our farewells at the city gates, and I went north, along the road to Dresden, to my order's camp. Elin's face grows grim at the mention of the camp. The demons attacked us there, at the same time they struck Canabras. We managed to fight them off. We hurried to the city's aid and joined forces with the Eagle Watch. All my fellow Houndhearts were wounded during the battle in the streets. I'm the last knight of my order who can still fight. It's so good to see Sela again. Every loyal heart counts these days. I met Sela at the tavern in Canabras, before the attack, of course. She's one of the few who would sit at a table with the condemned. Knights usually don't even look at us, but Sela is different. I knew it the moment I saw her. And that's what made me notice Sela too, so I sat down to talk to her. I never understood why everyone treated the condemned so horribly, and I still don't. Our Curl is a great lad. So after that night, Sela and I went round the taverns together every day. Mendev is an amazing place. People from all over the world come here, for glory, redemption, or to help those in trouble. And they always find each other. This might be the best place in the world to find like-minded people and friends. That was a toast, in case you didn't notice. Sela, did you call me over just because, or is something the matter? I didn't just want to talk about today's celebration. You see, Elin is in trouble. I want to help him. I don't know anyone else in the city I can turn to. His fellow knights were all wounded in battle. Elin shakes his head. Bad idea, sister. I told you. I don't want to bother anyone else with my problems. I need to handle them on my own. Oh, come on. Hiding your sadness from your friends is no way to live. Pearl is right. Don will help me find you. Without his help, I'd still be looking for you all over Canabras. So Elin, come on. Stop being so stubborn. Tell me more. Young Knight shakes his head. In all truth, I do not wish to impose. My problems are just minor troubles. A paladin of Iomade and her friend, another paladin of Iomade, certainly have more important things to do. Especially now that Canabras has been overrun with demons. If I've learned anything in life, it's that there's nothing minor about good and evil. Sela begins seriously, but then a smile lights up her face. Take the three of you, for example. It seems like all you did was save one cart from some lesser demons. But look how many people are happy now. That feat will never be sung of in songs, but who knows? Maybe thanks to you, this one joyous hour of peace and rest, the defenders of Canabras will find the strength to protect their city. Sela catches her breath. I talk too much, don't I? Well, Sir Elin, I want to help you. My reputation as a holy warrior of Iomedae won't suffer if it's more of a minor adventure than a glorious feat. The knight sighs and seems a little embarrassed. Alright, I'll explain. The life of a crusader has given me more than just a purpose and a chance to serve a righteous cause. When I abandoned the life of a mercenary and came to Mendev, I gained something else I never expected. It's here that I met, may all the ladies here forgive me, the finest girl in all the world. It's a miracle she found any love in her own heart for a bungler like me. I'm not about to let this miracle go. Not even the demon lord Tiscari and all his demon army can stand in my way. Luckily, my beloved is now safely away from Canabras. For half a year, I've been getting up my courage to propose to her. I even ordered a ring from Derek Sunhammer, the best jeweler in Mendev. Independent knightly orders live mostly off donations. I'm not what you'd call rich, but I still want to make Kiana happy. Oh, it took me 3 months to find a jewel the same shade as her eyes, and twice that long to scrape together enough money. Master Derek's work was worth it, but I lost the ring during the demon attack, and I'll probably never find a worthy replacement. The ring is most likely still at the Houndheart's camp outside the city. Elin and his friends didn't have time to pack up their camp. First the demons ambushed them, and then they rushed off to help Canabras. I think we should at least go there and check. Not right now, of course, but once the situation in the city is under control. What could we run into at this camp? My friends and I killed 2 large demons attacking the camp. They rode straight to the city without spending any more time cleaning up the rest of their band. It was only a few imps, but they might still be at the camp. Of course, this was a while ago. Our camp was attacked at the same time as the wardstone in the main square. I haven't been back there since. Fine, I will help. Sela puts her hand on your shoulder. Thanks for agreeing to help. Elin is a good man and a true knight. I think the world should repay those who are so devoted to doing good. Let's help him, so he can propose to his beloved the way he wanted. Sela, hope you can convince Airbeth to let me go with you when you do this. I don't want to be parted from my friends. Of course. If the League of the Inspiring Cart has come together in this dark hour, we must continue onward together. Good days and clear skies. What do you say? Where are we off to today? Well, I'm on the straight and narrow now. Isn't that right? The city's been through a lot, but it doesn't matter. Where there is danger, there is hope. I wonder if they miss me back home in Mivon.
We do it my way.
Now, how much money do I have? Oh! Also, we did level up.
Follow if you dare.
Nice, I can afford Smasher now. Whenever this +2 Necrotic Earthbreaker confirms a critical hit on an enemy, the enemy must pass a Fortitude saving throw DC 16 or suffer 2 strength ability damage. But most importantly, it is a +2. It's a +2 to attack rolls and damage rolls. Then we can give Finian to somebody else. Alright, so we level up. So at level 5 we get a feat and Divine Bond. Upon reaching 5th level, a paladin forms a Divine Bond with her god. This bond can take one of 2 forms. Once the form is chosen, it cannot be changed. First type of bond allows a paladin to form a Divine Bond with her weapon. As a standard action, she can call upon the aid of a celestial spirit for 1 minute per paladin level. At 5th level, the spirit grants the weapon a +1 enhancement bonus. Every 3 levels beyond 5th, the weapon gains another +1 enhancement bonus to a maximum of +6 at 20th level. These bonuses can be added to the weapon, stacking with existing weapon bonuses to a maximum of +5. Alternatively, it can be used to add any of the following weapon properties: Axiomatic, Brilliant Energy, Disruption, Flaming, Flaming Burst, Holy, Keen, and Speed. Adding these properties consumes an amount of bonus equal to the property's cost. These bonuses are added to any properties the weapon already has, but duplicate abilities do not stack. A paladin can use this ability once per day at 5th level, and 1 additional time per day for every 4 levels beyond 5th, a total of 4 times per day at 17th level. The second type of bond allows a paladin to gain the service of an unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal steed to serve her in a crusade against evil. This mount is a heavy horse. This mount functions as a druid's animal companion, using the paladin's level as her effective druid level. At 11th level, the mount gains the celestial creature's simple template. At 15th level, a paladin's mount gains spell resistance equal to the paladin's level plus 11. Athletics and persuasion. I'm going to grab Focus Strike. So when you're wielding a two-handed weapon or a one-handed weapon with 2 hands and using the power attack feat, you do not suffer power attack's penalty on melee attack rolls on the first attack you make each turn. You still suffer the penalty on any additional attacks, including attacks of opportunity. So we lose that -4 penalty to our first attack each round, which is fantastic. That synchronizes really well with the Fear build we're going with, because once we get Cornigan Smash and Dreadful Carnage, if we land an attack while using power attack or kill an enemy, we can do an AoE Fear effect, essentially. A Divine Weapon Bond. So the Animal Companion is objectively better. I prefer Divine Weapon Bond personally. But if you're going for optimization, grab the Animal Companion because it's fantastic. Alright, Nenio gets a feat and Scroll Specialization. At 5th level, whenever the Scroll Savant uses a scroll, he calculates the DC for any spell it contains using his Intelligence modifier instead of the minimum modifier needed to cast a spell at that level. Knowledge Arcana, Knowledge World, Lore Nature, Lore Religion, and Use Magic Device? No. Lore Religion. At Greater Spell Focus, Illusion. The Greater Spell Focus, choose a school of magic to which you have already applied the Spell Focus feat. Any spells you cast at this school are very hard to resist. Benefit, add +1 to the difficulty class for all saving throws against spells from the school of magic you select. This bonus stacks with a bonus from Spell Focus. Special, you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take the feat, it applies to a new school to which you have already applied the Spell Focus feat. We'll grab Displacement and Haste. Camellia gets a feat and Spirit Enhancement +2. By Enchantment +2. Ability Trickery. Alright, we'll grab Shield Focus. So increase the armor class granted by any shield you're using by 1. Alright, Daeran gets a feat as well. Knowledge Arcana, Knowledge World, and Use Magic Device. And Extra Channel Oracle. You can channel energy 2 additional times per day. And Summon Monster 1. Summon Monster 2. That's it. Alright, Lan. So he gets a feat and combat style feat. At 2nd level, a ranger must select 1 combat style to pursue. The ranger's expertise manifests in the form of bonus feats at 2nd, 6th, 10th, 14th, and 18th level. He can choose feats from his selected combat styles list, even if he does not have the normal prerequisites. Every style can also choose the following feats: Dodge, Great Fortitude, Lightning Reflexes, and Toughness. Athletics, Mobility, Perception, and Lore Nature. And Deadly Aim. You can choose to take a -1 penalty on all ranged attack rolls to gain a +2 bonus on all ranged damage rolls. When your base attack bonus reaches +4, and every +4 thereafter, the penalty increases by -1, and the bonus of damage increases by +2. You must choose to use this feat before making an attack roll, and its effects last until your next turn. The bonus damage does not apply to touch attacks or effects that do not deal hit point damage. It's basically a ranged power attack. Now for his combat style feat, we're going to go with archery. So at 2nd level, the ranger can select from point blank shot, precise shot, and rapid shot. Rapid shot does not work with his flurry of blows, so don't take that. At 6th level, he adds improved precise shot, point blank master, and many shot to the list. Again, many shot does not work with his flurry of blows ability, so do not take that either. At 10th level, he adds improved critical to the list. So I'm just going to grab dodge here. So you get a +1 dodge bonus to your armor class. A condition that makes you lose your dexterity bonus to armor class also makes you lose the benefits of this feat. Not the best feat, but it's fine. +1 armor class is just fine. Fine, Ember gets a feat. Knowledge Arcana, low religion, ×2. And use magic device. So she starts with point blank shot and precise shot. They intend you to go blaster caster with her. You don't need to. I'm actually going to grab improved initiative here, so she can try and get slumber off earlier in the combat. Though you could get spell penetration as well. But improved initiative, your quick reflexes allow you to react rapidly to danger. You get a +4 bonus on initiative checks. And we'll grab sleep. And Winter's Grasp. Alright, so for Woljif, I'm thinking about going... I still haven't decided on his multi-class, but I think I need the multi-class this level. Hold off for just a moment. Alright, Seelig gets the same stuff as my Paladin. Perception ×2, and Knowledge World. We're gonna grab Dodge on her. Oh, she starts with Dodge. Never mind. We can do Missile Shield. So you must be using a shield to use this feat. Once per round when you would normally be hit with an attack from a ranged weapon, not including spell effects, natural attacks, or massive ranged weapons, you may deflect it so that you take no damage, as if you had the Deflect Arrows feat. You must be aware of the attack and not flat-footed. And Divine Weapon Bond, of course. Alright, so for Woljif, again, I think he has a few good multi-class options. You could go Arcane Trickster. Some of the fighter classes I think synchronize well with him are the Magus classes. And actually, speaking of Magus classes, I do think we're going to go Sword Saint. So roleplay-wise, it doesn't make sense until Act 3 to do this. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. Because there's no reason to really put it off. So Sword Saint spends his life focusing his training and meditation into a rapturous perfection of the use of a single weapon, which is usually, but not always, a sword, channeling his arcane might through it in a dizzying and deadly dance beyond the abilities of even the greatest of mundane warriors. At class skills, Knowledge Arcana, Knowledge World, Use Magic Device, Athletics, and Persuasion. So, the Sword Saint gets chosen weapon. The Sword Saint is proficient in simple weapons and in a single martial or exotic melee weapon of his choice. A Sword Saint is not proficient with armor or shields, and suffers no more arcane spell failure chance when casting Magus spells while armored. At first level, a Sword Saint gains weapon focus with his chosen weapon as a bonus feat. A Canny Defense. When wearing light or no armor, wielding his chosen weapon, and not using a shield, a Sword Saint adds 1 point of intelligence bonus, if any, per Magus class level as a dodge bonus to her armor class. If a Sword Saint is caught flat-footed or otherwise denied her dexterity bonus, she also loses this bonus. Loses Magus proficiencies, gets Arcane Pull. At first level, the Magus gains a reservoir of mystical arcane energy that he can draw upon to fuel his powers and enhance his weapon. This Arcane Pull is a number of points equal to half his Magus level, minimum 1 plus his intelligence modifier. The pull refreshes once per day when the Magus prepares his spells. At first level, a Magus can expend 1 point from his Arcane Pull as a swift action to grant any weapon that he is holding a +1 enhancement bonus for 1 minute. For every 4 levels beyond first, the weapon gains another +1 enhancement bonus to a maximum of +5 at 17th level. These bonuses can be added to the weapon, stacking with existing weapon enhancement to a maximum of +5. Multiple uses of this ability do not stack with themselves. At 5th level, these bonuses can be used to add any of the following weapon properties: Flaming, Flaming Burst, Frost, Icy Burst, Keen, Shock, Shocking Burst, or Speed. Adding these properties consumes an amount of bonus equal to the property's base price modifier. These properties are added to any the weapon already has, but duplicates do not stack. If the weapon is not magical, at least a +1 enhancement bonus must be added before any other properties can be added. These bonuses and properties are decided when the Arcane Pull point is spent, and cannot be changed until the next time the Magus uses this ability. These bonuses do not function if the weapon is wielded by anyone other than the Magus, so you can't activate it then give the weapon to somebody else. A Magus can only enhance one weapon in this way at one time. If he uses this ability again, the first use immediately ends. A Spell Combat. At first level, a Magus learns to cast spells and wield his weapons at the same time. This functions much like 2-weapon fighting, but the offhand weapon is a spell that is being cast. To use this ability, the Magus must have one hand free, while wielding a light or one-handed melee weapon in the other hand. As a full round action, he can make all of his attacks with his melee weapon at a -2 penalty, and can also cast any spell from the Magus spell list with a casting time of 1 standard action. Any attack roll made as part of this spell also takes this penalty. And cantrips, of course. A Magi can cast a number of cantrips or 0-level spells. These spells are cast like any other spell, but they are not expended when cast and may be used again. So grab mobility, trickery, stealth, and perception. So we can grab weapon focus here. I don't know. Don't let us grab this yet. In that case, you can make an argument for improved initiative. Let's do Accomplished Sneak Attacker. Your sneak attack damage increases by 1d6. Your number of sneak attack dice cannot exceed half your character level rounded up. And Chosen Weapon. We're with the Bardiche. Or a weapon we get much, much later. Actually, we had one. We may still have it in our inventory. Decimation, I think, is a Bardiche. We'll grab... Already has shield. We'll grab Enlarged Person. and expeditious retreat. Oh, we get a whole bunch of them. Never mind. I'm so used to it being limited to 2. Shocking grasp. We'll grab shield anyway. Vanish. Don't want to do reduce person. I will grab grease. And true strike. Though I'll probably never use that spell. Alright. So do I still have decimation in my inventory? I think I sold it.
I'm off.
Actually, we're going to keep this for now. We can sell this. It's a little pricey. And they may not be worth using yet. Daggers are probably still better for right now since he has... a finesse training dagger. So he'll probably still get more damage out of the dagger than he would Vardy since his strength score is pretty lackluster. I'm setting him up to use a very specific weapon later in the game that applies your intelligence modifier to your attack and damage rolls.
I do what I must.
And while I'm thinking about it... Oh yeah. Are you alright? Abadar willing. We'll hold out here until the army arrives. Whenever I sleep outside the walls of the Defender's heart, I'm plagued by terrible dreams. Can you help me? The priest studies your face carefully. You look tired, but otherwise entirely healthy. If we were anywhere else, I'd simply tell you to get some rest. But we're on the border of the world wound, and I'm all too aware of what's happening to you. As you know, the wound is a rift between Golarion and the Abyss, and all the evil that feeds the Abyss does the opposite in our world. It feeds on Golarion. So it is that even when we cannot see demons near us, our ultimate foe, the Abyss, is always surrounding us. Many soldiers fighting in the world wound experience similar things. They suffer terrible nightmares, get no peace, sometimes even lose their minds. We were trained to help you with this affliction. By the will of Abadar, I have consecrated an altar here. The God's grace permeates the space around it, soothing one's soul and quieting thoughts during rest. So if you find your nerves are fraying, seek out a holy place like this, approach it, and all the corruption will be cleansed from you. Tell me again about the Abyss's corruption. I have to go. Actually, no, let's buy some scrolls. We need Death Ward. A little pricey, but it will be worth it. I'll talk to Airbeth real quick, but we won't start the defense of the Defender's Heart yet. Airbeth's sword has been honed to razor sharpness. She is on edge, evident in the way she checks the fastenings on her armor over and over. Thank you for coming to our aid. Ready yourself. The attack is imminent. Whatever deity you worship, offer up a prayer to them now. You're going to need all the help the higher powers can offer. There's a whole horde of enemies on their way here, and they will attack from every direction. Also, please keep in mind, according to my sources, a master alchemist called Orthorubo has recently arrived in the city. He's a well-known character among the demon worshippers. We don't expect him to show up personally, but thanks to him the cultists have been able to prepare a whole cart full of incendiaries. They'll try to burn the Defender's Heart to the ground. The arsonists are the main target. Keep an eye on them and take them down first, but burn the ground out from under our feet. What's the situation? We're primed and ready to defend this place. The enemy is keeping quiet, but don't be fooled by the lull. The demons have the tavern surrounded. They could strike at any moment. Is there time for me to rest before the battle? I hope so. Go. Restore your strength. You'll need it. I need a little more time to prepare. Go on. I'm going to need everyone in top form when the fighting starts.
I'm gone.
Alright, so we gotta talk to Daeran real quick. We'll save the actual defense for next time, but before I do that, let us slot some spells. We'll grab that for now.
We do it my way.
Alright, let's talk to Daeran, and then we will rest up. And prepare for battle next time. The Defender's Heart is a splendid choice for the Crusade's outpost. The very sight of these walls brings back fond memories of drinks and revels. The drinks are really good, by the way. May I ask you a few personal questions? You can try. I've heard stories about the tragedy that befell your family. I hope you don't feel obliged to offer me your insincere condolences on this unfortunate occasion. My whole family, my entire noble line, they all died. And demons are to blame. It's not like I actually loved any of my relatives except for my mother, but what's gone is gone. The family crypts are full of corpses, all covered in dust and the shadows of the past. What do you cherish most in life? There are far too many things that I cherish to fit them all into a single conversation. Believe it or not, but I might be one of the most life-loving people you've ever known. Daeran smiles. His eyes are gleaming with something different from his usual impudence and irony. There's a dreamy air about him all of a sudden. I rarely meet anyone who embraces the joys of living as enthusiastically as myself. There are so many exciting and beautiful things in the world. It should be illegal to waste your time on anything you do not enjoy. And I'm not afraid to repeat that to anyone's face. Should it be Discari and his demonic herd, or Amadei the Lightbringer herself? What do you hate the most? The feeling of helplessness, the lack of control over my own life. Daeran replies without thinking. Then he adds with obvious sarcasm. And onion rings, of course. I'd murder the person who came up with those abominations. You don't seem especially keen on helping people, but your knowledge of healing is truly impressive. What prompted your interest in that? Ah, if you really want to try out everything life has to offer, you also have to understand how to deal with the consequences. And I'm not talking about a simple hangover, mind you. Do you have any good stories about your past exploits? I've got plenty, but I have to warn you that even the most outrageous debauchery sounds far less thrilling when you're not the one doing the debauching. Still, since you asked, I suppose the worst mess I've ever got myself into was when I staged my own kidnapping. I was once in correspondence with one of the Riverland's nobles, the young Lord Labida, and he told me about his days as a hostage to a group of bandits. This made me wonder what it'd be like, and I thought that it might be fun to set up a little experiment. I engineered my own kidnapping by a certain gang through a chain of intermediaries and hired actors. Those fellows took the job very seriously. They caught me by surprise, killed 2 of my bodyguards, and even tied me up. Of course, the whole thing seems preposterous now, but it seemed like an ingenious idea at the time. The employers had told the kidnappers that they were to keep me safe and sound, and another group of mercenaries in disguise was watching the spectacle from afar, ready to interfere in case anything went wrong. It turned out to be a terrible idea nonetheless. It wasn't the least bit fun or exciting. Sure, those bandits had been able to torture or hurt me physically in any way, but they had plenty of other, non-invasive methods of humiliation in their arsenal. Taking almost all of your clothes off and splashing ice-cold water all over you, for example. Ugh. I can't even remember if I said anything truly offensive to provoke them. Even though I initially planned to let them go after the ransom, their overly emotional reactions made me change my mind. I told my mercenaries to hang them all on the spot. I suppose the whole ordeal taught me a valuable lesson, which is that I am not built for hardships and trials. Wait, you just told me that a couple of your bodyguards died during the staged kidnapping. Does that mean 2 innocent people lost their lives, so that you could have a bit of fun? Daeran pales a little, but not out of shame. Oh, spare me. It irks me beyond all measure when I hear about the suffering of innocents. He sighs, looks away and continues in a flat, polite tone. Yes, the bodyguards died. Guarding nobles is a dangerous job. They were well aware of the risk. I don't really see a problem with that. Besides, they proved their incompetence. They would have stood no chance against real kidnappers. Also, he could have brought him back. He has the funds to resurrect them. Your cruel jokes bring people nothing but misery. And? So that was a stupid story. Now I'll tell you a truly brilliant one. Prelate Holrun had always strictly prohibited any public celebrations in Canabris. He always picked on me for my lack of respect for the fallen and whatnot. His grumbling annoyed me so much that one day, I drove 4 barges into the city harbor and set up a celebration on their decks. The ships on the river didn't fall under the prelate's jurisdiction, you see, so all he could do was snarl at me from the embankment. I, for one, did not forget the old boy. The main attraction of the festivities involved an inquisitive Iomedae dancing and roasting beautiful witches on illusory bonfires, taking off his clothes with every new victim. The spectacle was so heated, in every sense of the word, that the prelate almost had a stroke. Daeran gives you a mischievous smile. I still consider that one of my finest ideas of all time. Should the Crusaders ever succeed in their efforts against the World Wound, I'll do my utmost to get permission to hold a grand public celebration. Rivers of wine free of charge. An obligatory parade and a carnival in the evening. A contest for the most provocative succubus costume with a hefty prize in gold. Another contest where the participants have to fish a sausage out of a wine jar blindfolded with their hands tied behind their backs. The wine will symbolize the blood of all the dead heroes of the war, and the sausage, well, they'll find a heroic meaning for that as well. Over the years, the commemoration of the greatest victory of light over darkness will turn into an ordinary holiday, a fine excuse to get sloshed and rot like animals in the streets. Do you enjoy being mean to everyone? Yes. Here I thought you were hurling insults at people purely by accident. Daeran laughs. This time his smile was surprisingly soft. I like your way with words. What did you expect me to say if I wanted to make a good impression? Something along the lines of, I'm not mean, I'm just being honest with myself and everyone else. That's what people use as an excuse when they want to keep up their saccharine facade, while still saying whatever nasty little thoughts spring to mind. That is not what I do. I have no hidden agenda. I'm just as much an insufferable prick as I seem to be. Some people are simply begging for a good dose of mockery, so who am I to deny them? I don't give a darn if anyone holds a grudge against me, which is why I don't even try to avoid it. I have no more questions. I hope this conversation was at least the slightest bit amusing. I'd like to talk about life in Mendev and the Crusade. Ask. I'm all ears. What's your opinion on Mendev today in general? It doesn't exist. Daeran scowls. It is a frontier country that has attracted every utopian, adventurer, and fanatic from all over the world for more than a century. It is a place where the strangers outnumber the locals, especially in the cemeteries. The population of Mendev, for the most part, consists of humans and other races not exactly known for their longevity, so the current generation of Mendevians were born in the shadow of the World Wound and raised by the Crusades. I might be the last person to complain about the decline of traditions and lack of character in our country, but I also happen to come from one of Mendev's most ancient lineages. Its history is bred deep in my bones. My tutors told me stories about my heritage. The galleries, libraries, even the interiors of the manors I grew up in were filled to the brim with memories of events long past. There are many heroes of old Mendev among my glorious ancestors, or at the very least patrons and contemporaries of such heroes. Does anyone actually remember them now? I don't think so. These days Mendev has its own heroes, in shining armor with holy fire in their eyes. I myself remember how several streets that once celebrated my ancestors were renamed in honor of some crusaders who had died in a heroic fashion. None of the citizens remembered the old crossing festival that was eventually replaced by Armas. These holidays even shared the same date. Pretty much the only authentic thing about Mendev now is its endless wars with the demons. And is there a point in bemoaning the state of affairs? What's gone is gone. But at least we're no longer some tiny godforsaken northern kingdom. And that's something, isn't it? You don't really like Crusaders, do you? Quite the opposite. When I think about how many devoted heroes are willing to protect this world against the demonic threat, I feel so inspired. Inspired to continue indulging my vices while they fight to keep me safe. Imagine being someone like me. Someone who has everything they can possibly desire. Youth, beauty, wealth, an honest wish to live and enjoy living. But vanishingly few ways to put it all to any use. The fact that the word fun itself is not yet outlawed in Mendev must be due to some bureaucratic oversight. You can celebrate your victory solemnly, You can wet your whistle after a challenging battle. What about real fun? Joys, pleasures. I can't imagine a single evening at court without someone chastening me for my banquets, my lovers and mistresses, my luxuriant clothes, my everything. It would have been a lot easier to tolerate all those hypocrites if they took a breath once in a while. Instead, there was a constant fuss about how I wasn't doing anything for the greater good, or I only brought shame to my royal cousin. But what do you think of our enemies? Do you mean the demons themselves or their followers? The former deserve to be cleansed with heavenly fire for their unholy origin alone, and the latter for their idiocy. I don't understand why a sane person would submit themselves to Discari or Kabiri. Alright, Lady Nocticula almost seems like a bearable enough mistress, yet there are so many other cultists. They've tried to recruit me twice already, and I'm not even that old. First, a very pretty tiefling girl tried to seduce me, then they came with promises of Lord Baphomet's endless boons. I still wonder what exactly old Hornhead could offer me that I don't already have. You know what I've been thinking? Every shopkeeper knows this trick. An enticing offer along the lines of 1 in every 100 buns from my bakery contains a silver coin. And of course, a hired actress to make a memorable show of finding said coin in her sweet roll. And there you have it. Hundreds of gullible fools storm the shop hoping to win a prize for themselves. I think the infamous Aurelia Vorlesh was such an actress for the Lords of the Abyss. A petty Sarkorian witch who became the uncrowned queen of the World Wound, waited upon hand and foot by demon lords. Only instead of visiting a bakery, the gullible fools rushed to join the cultists. We have an army of unbelievably powerful supernatural invaders from another dimension, hell-bent on destruction and domination. And what do those fools do? They serve them willingly as pawns and lackeys, hoping against hope that someday their masters will notice them. You don't believe how delighted I am to be so vain and self-absorbed. These sins protect me against demonic temptation better than any virtue. I can't think of anything else at the moment. Wonderful. What made you join my party after all? You mean instead of carousing far away from Canabras with a small army of mercenaries to protect me? I will get to that. You see, when you appeared at my door out of nowhere, I watched with bravery and heroism, and started tossing demons around like ragdolls. I thought that your company might be more exciting than my usual crowd of sycophantic hangers-on. You seemed competent and mysterious at the same time, so I decided that a little demon hunting wouldn't hurt, especially with such an intriguing entourage. That party had been growing staler with every passing second anyway. Needless to say, I'm not here for long. I shall return to the capital, maybe one of my country estates as soon as we reclaim the city. Crusades, bellowing commanders, row upon row of identical tents. This is not the life for me, but I'll certainly remember you and our adventures together. For a week, or perhaps even longer than that. I should go. Goodbye.
Follow if you dare.
There you are. Alright. Actually, flaming will work here, because we're going to fight against cultists, not demons. Alright, let's go and rest up. What would you have done in my shoes if you had to survive on the streets? What? You wouldn't have took it to... you wouldn't have took the thieving. Yeah, right. I would have survived one way or another. The spirits would have told me what to do. Yeah, well, Waldrop doesn't have the spirits to ask. He has his shadow, I guess. The demons were killed recently, no doubt about that. It's not clear if it happened here, or if the bodies are brought here from somewhere else.
I'm off.
Alright, next time we'll talk to Irbeth and begin the defense of the Defender's Heart. I should have everything I need. Everyone's spells are slotted, so we should be ready to rock and roll. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.